Hello guys, once again, welcome back everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and I hope you all are enjoying my videos very well. So, what we have done in previous session, we had done two type of theory, that is vector add element, and we had also done vector capacity, and we had also done two program or two example of program on that base, that is vector capacity and vector add elements. So today we are going to discuss now what is vector clear method and what is vector clone method. We will discuss its syntax. We will discuss about it. What is it? What is the meaning of this topic? And after that, we will do two more example of vector clear method and two more example of vector clone method. So we will discuss about this thing today, and then after that we will end up this. So okay, are you all ready? I hope you all are ready. So let's start this. So first of all, we will open Visual Studio Code. First of all, we will open Visual Studio Code, or first of all, we have to understand the theory of vector clear method and vector clone method. After that, we will jump to, or we will go through the example, two example of vector clear method and vector clone method. So what is it? Let's see. I will search here vector in Java. Now I search a Java vector. I will click this link. I will open this website. So, and now clear topic we will discuss. So we would like to discuss it now. Now we would like to discuss what is Java vector clear methods. What is it? So the Java vector clear method, the clear method of Java vector class is used to remove all of the elements from the vector within which is in use. It basically used to remove all the element from the vector. That's the work for Java vector clear. And the syntax is following is the declaration of the clear method. The syntax is public void clear. Syntax is now parameter this doesn't accept any parameter and returns. This method has a return type voice, so it does not return any value. Okay, now that's the theory, and now we are going to discuss about this program. We are going to do two more example of program of vector clear method. After that, we will go through another topic, that is vector clone method. So what is it? What the example? So let's see how it is do that. First of all, I open Visual Studio Code. Here I will see the interference. Now click on new window. So wait for few seconds for opening the Visual Studio. Now it's open. After the opening, we would like to create a new file here because it is most important for creating a new file, or whether you could also create in your existing file. But in sometimes, if you forget your file name and someone asks to you that please show me this file, then what you will do? You can't show them because you have forget your file name. So that's why you must have to create a new file. That's why because when you create a new file, you should have to name it, and when you name it, then you should have to remember it, because when you remember it, then if somebody asks that please show me this file or please open this file, then you can show this file in easily way. So that's why we should have to create a new file here. Because the creating of new file is better than exist doing the program in existing file. Because if you in sometimes you do in your existing file, if you do your program in existing file and someone asks please show me, then you have forget it and you can't show it them. So that's why we should have to create a new file. So I will create a new file here. Now I give my file name here vector 28.java. Enter it. 28.java. Now enter it. And now save this file which is already exist. Now I create another file here, vector 29. Vector 29.java. Enter it. Now save this file. Now, because I had done 28 more example of vectors, so that's why it doesn't take vector 28. Because if in your system has same if you in your system has a same existing file, if your system has a same existing file, and if you want to create another file, then you can't create it because same existing file can't take Visual Studio. So you should have to create a file with different existing file name. So that's why you should have to create it. Now, after that, what I will write here, you must have to remember it. What I write here, you have to write package formats. What is the package format of vector? The package format is import java.util.star semicolon. That's the package format. And if you don't put this statement or if you don't put this format, then your program will show error, your program doesn't compile and run also, and your program will show error. So you must have to put vector import package statement. That is important while you are creating your java, sorry, while you are creating a vector program. So you must have to put Va- import java.util.star semicolon, that is package form. You must have to put it. You must have to remember it. So I write here import java.util.star semicolon. Now create the class name here. So I write it vector 29. Take curly bracket and now write here public static static void main string args. Take curly bracket and then and after that what I write here, you must have to remember it. After that we would like to write here vector format. So what is the vector format? If while you are creating a vector program, then you must have to put, first of all you must have to put package format. After the package format, create class name, and after the creating of class name, you must have to put vector format, because if you don't put this format then your program will doesn't compile. So that's why we have to put this format. Okay, so I like the vector of b is in capital, you must have to remember it. Now after that I write a string, again string of s is in capital, and after that what I write here VC is equals to new, because string is the place of element. String is the place of element. You must have to remember it. After that, I write again vector of B is in capital, and after that take greater than and less than sign. After that you write here bracket, and after that you must have to put semicolon. After that, 1 minute wait. Okay guys, so where we are continue again. So I write here vc dot add. Now take a in the inverted commas. After that taking inverted commas, now take a, and now you take a semicolon. Now again you take vc dot add, take bracket and take inverted commas, and here you write b. Now put semicolon. Now you put vc dot add. Now you write here c. After that, writing this statement, now you put semicolon. Now after the completing of this, what you have to write it after that. You have to write, you have to print your all elements. So we have to write print statement. So what is the print statement while you have done. So print statement is system, again system of assets in capital. You must have to remember it while you are printing, while you are printing all elements. While you are writing print statement. You must have to write system of assets in capital, because if you don't write, then the program also does not compile and does not run. So we must have to write system of assets in capital. System dot out dot println. After that writing this, take bracket and take inverted comma, and here you write size of vector before clear method before clear method, take a bracket. Now take, after the taking you write here plus vc dot size. After the writing this, what you write here, you put semicolon. After completing this, what you write here, you have to write vector clear method. So what is the vector clear method? Vc dot clear, take bracket and now put semicolon. After the writing this, the clear method, you have to print your clear method, vector clear method. So we have to write print statement. So what is the print statement? Again, system have assets in capital. System dot, while you are printing your element, so system of dot out dot print element, print ln. Now here you write size of vector after clear method. After completing this, you write here plus vc dot size. Now you put semicolon. Now my file is completed. So what we have to do? We have to check it. We have to compile it first, and after we have to run it. So what you use for compilation and running? You use terminal option or new terminal, or whether else you can also use cmd, that is command prompt. You can find it in your search bar option in easily way. Here you type cmd, you can find it here. And after that, opening the terminal, you write here, you will have to compile it first. So for compilation, you have to write your file name, because file name is most important while you are compiling your program. So you must have to remember it. So I write compiling format, and after that I write file name. So what my file name? That is my file name, vector29.java. So I write a vector session19.java. Now enter it. So wait for a few seconds for compilation. Now wait for a few seconds. So it should be compiled successfully. You see that is successfully compiled. Now after that what we have to do, we have to run this program. So for running you have to write class name. While you are running a program, then you must have to take class name because class name is most important while you are running a program. So that's why we have to take vector class name, that is class name here vector 29, that is class name vector 29. Now enter it. You see that my first example of clear method is successfully printed. So from this way you could also print any type of example of vector clear method in easily way. That's the first example, that is size of vector before clear method is 3 and size of vector after the clear method is 0. So that is the program for vector clear method. So now we will go to the second example. So how to do the second example? Let's see how to do this. So for doing this, I will create another file also, new file. Now I write a vector 30 java. Now enter it and now save this file. Now after the saving this file, what we have to write? We have to write package format, that is import java.util.start semicolon. You must have to remember it while you are creating your vector program. You must have to remember because it is important while you are creating your vector program. You must have to remember it. So I write there import java.util.start semicolon. After this, what you have to write, you have to create a class name here. So I write a vector 30. Now take curly bracket. After the taking curly bracket, you write a public static void main. Now here you write a string args. Args is, that is argument. Okay, that is full name is argument. Okay. After the completing this, what we have to write here, we have to write vector format because you have to remember it. You must have to remember it while you are creating your vector program. So you have to write vector format. So what is it vector format? Vector of b is in capital again, because if you put vector is in small, then your program does not compile and does not run. Your program will show error. So we must have to put vector of b is in capital. Okay. After the writing this, you write a string again, string of sorry, you write integer again, integer of s, integer of I is in capital because integer is the place of string and also element. So you must have to remember it because integer you must have to remember it that integer of I is in capital and vector of b is in capital. So after that writing, I write back object is equals to new, again vector of b is in capital, vector right there, integer again, integer of I is in capital, integer. Now write here 5, put semicolon. After the completing this, what we have to write? We have to write vector addition. So what is the vector addition? That is back object, back object dot add the, now semicolon, again back object, again object of O is in capital. So you must have to remember it. Back object dot add, you write therefore, now put semicolon, you write 5 here, semicolon, again vac object dot add right here to semicolon, again vac object dot add, again 4 put semicolon, after that write vac object dot add, you put a 1 semicolon. After completing this, you should have to print your all vector elements. So what we have to write it while we are printing all vector elements. So we have to then print the statement that the system of S is in capital. You have to remember it. System dot out dot println. Here you write element of vector is after that you write here plus vac object, now put semicolon. After the writing the print statement, you have to write vector clear, so that is vac object dot clear big bracket and now put semicolon. After the writing the clear method, what you have to do, you have to print your clear vector clear method. So we have to write print statement again. You have to remember it, system of as in capital. You have to remember it. System dot while you are printing your element, system dot out dot println. Here you write element of vector after clear element of vector after the clear. Now here you write plus vac object. Now put semicolon after writing this. Now this program is completed. Now what we have to do, we have to check it whether it is compiled or not, whether it is done or not. For checking, you have to write compiling format. After that, you have to take file name, because file name is taken while you are compiling a file. You have to remember it. So what my file name, that is vector30.java. So I write here vector30.java. Now enter it. And now wait for few seconds for compilation. So you see that my second example is successfully compiled, second program is successfully compiled. Now after that, what we have to do, we have to run this program. For running, you have to write class name, because for running you have to write class, you have to remember it, you must have to remember it, that is class name. So I write the java vector 30. Now enter it. You see that my second example of clear vector clear method is successfully implemented. That is element of vector is 35241, and after the clear, that is no one. It is empathy. So you have to. So from this way, you could also print vector. You could also print any type of example of vector clear method from this way. So that's the vector topic. That's the vector exam vector clear method. Now we would like to go through what is vector clone method, and after that we have to discuss the theory, and after that we have to do two more example of vector clone methods. So let's see what is this theory. For theory, I will open vector clone, and I open clone, and I open clone topics, that is Java vector clone. And the clone method of Java vector class is used to get a clone of the vector which is in use, and following is a and what the syntax is, following is the declaration of the clone method, that the syntax, and a public object clone, that the syntax. And what is a parameter? The parameter is this method does not accept any parameter. This method does not accept any kind of parameter. You have to remember it. And what it is return is this method return a clone of this vector which is in use. Okay. After that, now after that, what we exception is not there. So after that, we would like to we would like to discuss its example. That's the theory. And now we would like to discuss the example of vector clone method. So let's see how to do this example of vector clone method. So for doing this, I will open Visual Studio Code and create a new file here for doing this program, vector clone method, and I write a vector 31.java. Enter it and now save this file. After the saving this file, what you have to write it? You must have to remember that you have to write package format. So what is it package format? Package format is import java.util.star semicolon. That's the package format of vector clone method. And sorry, all over the topics of vector, not clone, all over the topics of vector. When you are creating your vector program, and you have to remember it, because you don't put this statement, then your program will does not compile, does not run. So that's why we must have to put this package format, that is import java.util.star semicolon. You must have to put this statement while you're creating your vector clone method, or while you're creating any type of vector program. So I write here import java.util.star, now put semicolon. After the doing this, what you have to write? You have to write class name. So I write vector 31, now take curly bracket, and now write your public static void main string args. Arg is basically called argument. You have to remember it. After that, what we have to write? We have to write vector format. So you must have to remember it. That is vector of v is in capital again. So vector. After that, I write the less than sign, and after that, I write the string of s is in capital. You have to remember it. You must have to remember it, because string is the place of element. And now close greater than sign. Puts greater than sign. After that, we write the VC is equal to new again vector of reason capital, because if you don't put this in your program, does not compile, your program will show error. So we must have to put this format of vector of capital string of s in capital. Okay. After that, what we have to write? You have to write again string of s in capital, string, take bracket, and after that you write semicolon. After the completing of this, what you have to write here? You have to write vector addition, that is vc dot add. Here you write tiger. Again you take vc dot add. You write here deer. Now put semicolon. Again, you take VC. VC is basically called vector. That's the short name. Okay. Sometimes somebody is confused, so I tell the name that is vector. Okay, that's the short name. So VC dot add. Now you take bracket and take inverted comma. Here you write dog. Put semicolon again. VC dot add. Now you take here bracket and take inverted comma, and here you write camel. Now put semicolon. After the completing this, what you have to do, you have to print your all elements. So you must have, so you have to write it, print a statement. So what is the print statement? That is print statement is system, again system as is in capital, you are printing an element. System dot out dot println. Always system of always print the statement of system of S in capital. You must have to remember it. So this is most important for printing the uh, little bit mistake. You must have to remember it. So after that, what we have to write system dot out dot println. Now take black and now take inverted comma, and here I write original vector. After that, you write VC. Put semicolon. Now after that, you write here again print statement for the all element for this program. So I write here again system of ascending capital. You must have to remember it. System dot out dot println. Now write here take bracket and now write here close vector, close vector. Now after that, what we write here, we have to write plus VC. This is basically called vector. You have to remember it. So VC dot clone. Now put semicolon. Now after that, completing this program is completed. Now after that, what we have to write it here. We have to write. We have to what after that what we have to do. We have to check it whether it is compiled or not, whether it is run or not. So for checking, you must use terminal options. So for checking, you must have to compile it first. For compilation, you must have to take file name for compilation. And firstly, you have to write compiling format. After that, you take file name, that is vector31. That is my file name. Okay, vector31, vector31.java. Now enter it. And so wait for a few seconds for compilation. You see that it's successfully compiled. Now after that, what we have to do? We have to run this program. For running this program, you have to write Java, and after that for running, you have to take class name because class name is most important while you are running a program. So that is vector 2031. Now enter it, and you see that my first example of vector clone method is printed in successfully way. So from this way, you could also print any type of example of vector clone method. So that's the first example. That is original vector is tiger, deer, dog, camel, and closed vector is tiger, deer, tiger, deer. What is it? Dog, camel. So that's the first example of vector coordinate, and now we are going to discuss about last example for today of second example of vector clone method. So we will discuss last example and second example of vector clone method. After that, we will end up the scene. So for doing this program, I will create another file also. So create new file here and I write the vector 32.java. Now enter it and now save this file. After the saving this file, what you have to write? You have to write package format. Must have to remember it while you are creating a vector program. So you must have to remember it. That is import java.util dot star semicolon. This is the package format. So firstly you have to write this while you are creating a vector program. So I write a import java.util dot star put semicolon. After that you write the class name. So I write the class vector 42. Now take curly bracket and here you write public static void main string args. Now take curly bracket here again and here you write what you have to write it here. Here you write vector format. So you must have to remember it while you are creating your vector program. So that you must have to remember it that vector format is most important while you're creating your program. So that is vector of base in capital while you're creating vector format. So I write a vector of base in capital. Again, it's integer of i's in capital. Integer is the place of element and string also. And here you write vc is equal to new. Again, vector of base in capital vector. Again, integer of i's in capital integer. Now take greater than sign and here you write 4 in the bracket and now put semicolon. Now after that you take again vector, you write again vector format. So that vector again vector of b is in capital vector. Again you write integer of I is in capital. You must have to remember it. After that you write back clone back clone is equals to after that you write var clone is equal to new. Again vector of b is in capital vector. Here you write integer of I is in capital again. Integer. Now here you write 4 in the bracket and now put semicolon. After completing this, you have to write vector addition. That is VC dot for first vector format VC dot add. Here you write 4 in the bracket and now put semicolon. Again you write VC. VC is basically called vector, that's the short name. You must have to remember it. After that you write 3. Now put semicolon again VC dot add. You write here 2. Now put semicolon. You write VC dot add. Write 1. Now put semicolon. After the completing of vector addition, you have to print your all vector elements. So you will have to write print statement that is again system of as in capital while you are printing an element system dot out dot println. Now here you write element in vector r. Now you put semicolon. After that you write here for loop. So I write here for string of s in capital while you are printing this loop. So you write a string, not a string, you write an integer because integer is the place of a string. So you write an integer num. Integer of I is in capital. You must have to remember it. Num bc After that, you take curly brackets and here you have to print your loop. You have to write print statement. So that is system again system of S in capital while you're printing your loop. And so you write system dot out dot println, and here you write number is equals to plus none. After that, you write a semicolon. Now, after completing this, what you write here? You write a vector clone method. So that is vec clone is equals to again vector of v is in capital while you are printing vec clone. So here you write vec clone. After that, you write here. After that, you write a vc dot clone vc dot clone. Now you write here bracket and now put semicolon. After the completing this, what you have to write? You have to print your vector clone method. So we have to write print a statement that is system against system of action capital by printing your vector clone method system dot out dot println. Here you write element in vector element in backclone vector r. After that, you write here, you put semicolon. After the completing this, you have to write here again loop. You have to write loop again. So I write here again integer of i's in capital integer num backclone. After that, you take curly bracket and here you have to write here again print statement for your loop, another loop. So I write here again system of s in capital while you're printing your another loop. So system dot out dot println, and here you write number is equals to plus num. After that, you write you put the semicolon. Now this program is completed. Now after that, what we have to do? We have to check this whether it is compiled or not. For checking, you have to remember it. For checking, uh, you have to compile it first. So you have to write compiling format. After that, you have to take class name. Sorry, file name. So that is file name because file name is most important for compilation. So I write here vector. That's my file vector 32. Vector 32 dot java. So I write here vector 32 dot java. Now enter it. And now wait for few seconds for compilation. Now we have got the error. One error. Where is it? Cannot find symbol. Why? Vector Java 4. Which symbol? Oh, I write here integer of I is in small. You see that if you put integer of I is in small, then your program will show us. That's why we got error here because I put it here integer of I is in small. So you must have to remember it while you are printing a vector program. You must have to remember you have to put integer of I is in capital. Now save this file again and now compile again. So wait for compilation, wait for few seconds for compilation. And what is it? Vector 32 uses check uncheck operation then compiled with uncheck for details. It does not compile. We got some error also. So wait for it where we have vector 32 uses uncheck operation. We have to check it here. What is the problem? Element system dot vector vc. But vc dot clone as is correct, but why can't compile? And now save again, file again. So wait for compilation. Again, it shows again Java uses unchecked or unchecked operation. We see that for after that completing review, I write the element for string num1. We see system dot out dot that is correct. After that, I write a back clone is equals to vector vc dot clone. System dot out dot now I write a back clone that is correct. But where we got a problem? That's all are correct. But where we got the problem? System dot out that is correct. Element in vector R integers num. After that, system dot out dot that is also correct. Web clone is also correct. VC clone, yeah, it is correct. Vector VC clone, yeah, it is also correct. But where we got a problem? Where we why showing this? Why not compiling? It doesn't show error, but we have done compilation in right way. So first of all, we have to check what is the problem here. After that, we will compile again. So that's all correct. That is also correct. Now save again. Save again. Control plus S and now compile again. It's so again. Java vector 52. Oh, that's why we got a problem here. You see that it also printing successfully when I was confused here because it doesn't compile. So that's why we have to run this, we have to write running formats. So from this way you could also print any type of vector clone method, and that's the That's it for today, and we will discuss more topic, more example of vector program in next session. And that's for today. I hope you like my videos, and I hope you enjoyed my videos very well. If you like it, then please like, subscribe, and comment me. If you have got any problem, then please comment me. I will help you out. And if you got any problem in theory as well as in program, then I will give you a website, that is Java People. I will give a website link in my description. You please go through this website and understand this concept. And that's for today. Please like, subscribe, and comment me if you got any problem. If you like my videos. That's for today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.